This is Tabitha, and you all know Tabitha because you follow us, and I'm pretty sure you follow us because of Tabitha. We had a bit of a scary 24 hours with this young lady. You going to say hi, Tabs? No, she's sleeping on my post. I have read my post. She's sleeping on it. Tabitha was a little bit off her food on Monday, but sometimes she can be like that. She does have a very sensitive stomach, or that's what we've been kind of going on. And then on Tuesday, she seemed a bit better, but she started to get a bit dribbly on Tuesday night. And I was a bit like, that's not normal. And then yesterday, which was Wednesday, she was very, very dribbly and drooly, which is not normal. She's not a dribbly or drooly cat, and it's not normal for a cat to dribble and drool kind of unexpectedly out of nowhere. And she was off her food and not quite herself. So it looked quite serious. I didn't like the dribble. So we trotted her off to the vet, and there were 3 explanations for why she was dribbling. She'd either eaten something poisonous or toxic, and that was making her dribble, or she had a blockage and she'd eaten something that was blocking her bowels and her intestine and was causing her discomfort and making her dribble, or she had some sort of intestinal problem. They were great. We love our vet. They got her in seen quite quickly. They did an ultrasound. And they have come back and they think that Tabitha has IBD, or irritable bowel disease. It kind of explains a few things that we've been wondering about. She's very sensitive to certain foods. She can't eat fish. She is quite picky about what she eats. She does puke a fair bit, maybe not a lot, but just enough to be like, oh, okay, she's puked. She's not losing weight, and actually she looks very, very healthy and happy. But the ultrasound scan yesterday showed that she has symptoms of IBD. They're not worried about anything else because she's actually presenting quite well. But there was some thickening of a lining in, I think, her bowels or her intestines. I can't remember. I'm very tired. And some swelling around her lymph nodes. And they said that she was reacting, the way she was reacting was indicative of IBD. So now Tabitha has to be on special food. We're still trying to work out whether we can keep her on the novel meat diet that she's on. She basically has plain meat. She has one type of meat meal every day, but she has been having kind of generic biscuits because she quite likes them, and we thought they were okay, but actually the vet's saying no. So we're now trying to work out whether we can keep her on her novel meat diet and move her across to hydrolyzed biscuits, so she can have a combination of both of those, or whether she has to be on completely hydrolyzed food. We're kind of seeing how it goes. The problem I have is that because she reacts so violently to fish, it makes her very lethargic. It makes her, she vomits, and then she's obviously very, very uncomfortable for sort of 24 to 48 hours after she eats anything with fish. And the hydrolyzed cat food has fish oils in it. I have spoken to a vet. I have spoken to a good friend who's a vet nurse who is on social media and who has given me some really, really good advice. I've spoken to the companies that make the special hydrolyzed food, and they're all basically saying it's fine because the proteins will be broken down and she won't react to it. But I'm still really twitchy because I'm like, I don't want to feed her something that's going to make her ill, but we really don't have much choice. But she's feeling a lot better tonight. They had her on a whole raft of meds yesterday, which we've tapered off today. She's just on an anti-sickness med, and she has eaten tonight. We're giving her a hydrolyzed sort of chicken soup with her old meat food, and we're holding off on any biscuits until we've got the hydrolyzed biscuits. I've ordered some, and we're going to see how they go. I'm really, really hoping that we've sussed this out and that the hydrolyzed biscuits don't make her react because they have fish oil in them, and that we can get Tabitha to a space where her poor tummy is feeling a lot better. She's not going to pose for this video. She's sleeping quite happily, but poor baby, she was not well at all yesterday, and we were obviously quite frightened and worried when they said it might be a blockage and she might need surgery, or that she'd eaten something. We couldn't figure out what she might have eaten. We don't know what triggered this episode or this round of it. We just know that her tummy is not happy and we have to look after her. So if you have a cat with IBD, I'd love some advice, particularly if you think your cat might have had intolerances to certain foods like fish. I'd love some advice and I'd love some input. But yes, anyway, that's Tabitha. Are you going to talk to us, Tabs? Tabitha? Tabs? Nope, she's sleeping. She's had a long 24 hours. She's sleeping it off now.